Hello, my name is Lisa, and I'm in the 300-hour yoga teacher training program with Dancing Dogs Yoga out of Atlanta. And this is a story about Ganesha and half moon pose. So, who is Ganesha? Ganesha is a regal mythological creature with elephant ears and a voracious appetite for sweets. He's quite the character here, very regal, very revered creature. He is the son of Shiva and Parvati. He has quite a history. He was decapitated as a boy for not allowing his father to enter the room while his mother, Parvati, was taking a bath. Shiva thought that this was just strange behavior, saw an intense look in the boy's eyes, and had the boy decapitated. So Shiva had quite the temper. So his mom, understandably, was distraught at this action. So Shiva gave Ganesha the head of the next creature that he saw in the door, which happened to be an elephant. Elephants were very revered in that culture, and they were said to indicate wisdom and the ability to listen to people who needed help. So they were very wise counsel. They had a lot of wisdom. Had a big head to think big with big ideas, large ears, small mouth, small eyes to concentrate, that small mouth to talk less, but ears were twice as big, if not bigger, to listen more than they spoke. Elephants were considered blessed. Their trunk represented high efficiency and adaptability to situations. Elephants have, as you know, a large stomach to digest the good and the bad in life, and one tusk to keep the good in life and throw away the bad. So things to learn from Ganesha: giving and sharing. Ganesha had a pet mouse. This is an important part of the story. So the mouse represents a desire to reach into every nook and cranny of the mind. No matter how big he was as an elephant, he had this pet mouse that could get into the little spaces. He had the big eyes to see beyond what was in front of him, and big ears to hear and comprehend. So what did Ganesha do as it relates to yoga, and why are we studying him? So Ganesha liked yoga, but he really liked his sweets. He had a figure like a Humpty Dumpty. If you can picture a Humpty Dumpty character with the big belly, elephant head, and the tiny feet, and then he's riding around on this carriage with a mouse. Not a big sturdy horse, but that mouse, which was important to him to get into the small spaces, but not the best idea for a big elephant to ride around. So he's riding around the neighborhood one night, and the moon sees him. The moon sees Ganesha hobbling and swaying back and forth like Humpty Dumpty on this itty bitty mouse, and the moon starts laughing at him. The moon started laughing and thought it was so funny to see this big character just hobbling around. So Ganesha had a temper, just like his dad. You know his dad, the one who had him decapitated? Yeah. So Ganesha got mad and ripped off part of his face. That's mad, right? He ripped off part of his face and threw his tusk up at the moon. Just ripped it off and threw it up at the moon. And the moon got a tear. The moon got a tear, and the light went out in the moon. Can you imagine? The whole earth went dark. Very sad. There was no light on the earth at night. It was all just darkness. There was only the sun when the sun came up, and then when the sun went down, everything was black, and it was like midnight all the time. No dusk and no dawn. No romantic moonlight, no dusk. It was just an either or situation. You either had the sun in its bright intensity and you had just total darkness at night. So Ganesha announced that the moon could return, but it could only exist in 4-week cycles. So that is why we have the quarter moon, the half moon, 3/4, and the full moon. Did you know? It's all Ganesha. So you're in half moon pose, you're looking up to the heavens. You're thinking about Ganesh, did you know? And you are looking at the heavens and reflecting on the history of yoga. Your standing leg is straight. Your bottom foot is fully grounded. Hips are stacked. Your core midsection is engaged. One hand and one leg are lifted skyward. And the other hand could be on a block. It could be at your chest or on the mat. You choose what's right for you. So how does that look? Ardha Chandrasana. That's how it looks. If you have perfect rotation, you have your gaze upward, core engaged and stabilized. Your standing leg is straight, bottom foot firmly grounded. If your fingertips are touching a surface, you are lightly supporting it. You're lightly touching it. You're not hanging on for dear life. You are just lightly grazing the ground, the block, or you have your hands at your chest. And you're getting your balance from your lifted and flexed foot and your lifted leg. And your chest is open and rotated upwards. Your hand is extending in that upward direction. That's how you do half moon. And that's my half moon with a block. My pointers are to try leaning against the wall for stability and some height. So try it against the wall until you can get into this perfect model picture here. Use your props, use the block as you need to. Lift a hand, if only for a few seconds, and keep practicing at home. And think about Ganesha when you do it. Thank you.